Good morning. How are you today? I'm Karen Williams. I'm a book mentor, and welcome to week 9 of the book launch blog, the video blog that I've been sharing over the last 9 weeks now to lead up to the book launch. We are 27 days away from the launch of Book Marketing Made Simple. And today I want to share with you what's been happening for the last 9 days. So it's been 9 days since I recorded a video because I took a long weekend over the bank holiday, and it has been a flurry of activity. So there are 4 things I want to share with you today. So first off, the book, that's really important. 2 things to share with you around the book. So first off, the book marketing planner, that arrived last weekend. So this is the proof copy. Looks slightly different from the other book because this comes directly from Amazon. It is a companion book. So it takes you through the process I talk about in Book Marketing Made Simple, so that you don't just create some ideas, you create an actionable plan. So there's lots of hints, tips, questions, advice, and it goes a little bit deeper into some areas. And it gets you to think, and as I said, create that real actionable plan. So you don't just read Book Marketing Made Simple and go, oh, that's good stuff, and put it aside. You do something with the information. So that's the whole reason behind creating a planner. Then on Tuesday, this arrived. Book Marketing Made Simple, the 2nd edition. Amazing. If you've seen the previous one, you'll know it's a lot bigger. So much more information in it, and I'm really proud. I sat down early this week to read through the whole book, to make a few tweaks and changes, as you'll see from the post-it notes, and I sent those over to my publisher yesterday. So we are on track to launch on the 28th of September. And I think with any book, you have to make a decision: when is a book good enough? I could have made loads and loads of tweaks yesterday, and actually I'm really proud of what I've created here. And things change as well. If you saw Yvonne's interview with Cheryl earlier this week, you'll know that a book and ideas, I suppose, are ever evolving, aren't they? A book is a snapshot in time. So, for example, in this book, I mentioned Twitter, and Elon decided to rebrand it to X as we were doing the final edits of this book. So with anything like that, you have to make a decision of what to change and what to leave. So that's just a learning, I think, for all of you. In terms of the book itself, it's never going to be, I don't know, things are always going to evolve, aren't they? So that's why I've created a website which is going to be up to date with all of the information that is relevant to the book. So if things change and maybe Facebook or Instagram change their name, that's okay. It's not a problem. So this is the book. Really excited to share this with you. And that launches on the 28th of September. So that's the most important thing. The second thing I want to talk to you is the Business Book Bites podcast. Now, I've mentioned this very briefly over the last sort of 8 or 9 weeks in terms of I'm creating a podcast. And I must admit, I think most of the activities I've done this week have been related to the podcast. I've recorded 7 interviews so far. And I'd like to do a little bit of a shout out today to a few people. I realised that somebody needs to do an introductory episode. And of course, that needs to be me. So Cheryl Andrews kindly offered to interview me for that. So we did the interview earlier this week, and that is going to be the first episode that drops on Monday morning when we launch it. So that's really exciting. And a second shout out to Steve Randall, who has been doing all of the edits, and he's been guiding me through the whole process of doing this podcast. And so he sent me that first recording of the first episode yesterday. I've not had a chance to listen to it yet, but I'm really excited. And he is the second interview because he contributes to the book. So the whole idea behind the book and the podcast is that they complement each other. Within the book itself, I've got many people who have contributed their time, their expertise on topics like, if I think about some of the interviews I've done recently, networking, websites, Instagram, companion books, all sorts of lovely topics, how to get your book distributed. We're covering things like LinkedIn and publicity. So these are real experts who I've known for years, who have kindly contributed their expertise to the book. But there's only so much that you can include in a 500-word article. So they've given me 20, 25, maybe 30 minutes. I think one I did yesterday was 30 minutes of their time to actually do a deep dive into the topic. So wow, I have got so much amazing stuff to share with you. And also they've given away a bonus extra tip that you can download. So extra value coming your way with the podcast. So do watch out for it. Episodes will be dropping on a Monday and also on a Thursday. You will get an email every time there's a new episode to tell you about it. And as I said, we've got some amazing topics coming up. So first one's with me, second one's all about podcasting, third one's all about blogging, websites, some great information coming out. So do watch for it. And I would very much be grateful if you could like, review, share, all of the good stuff that you need to do with the podcast to make sure it reaches as many people as possible. I've really enjoyed doing the podcast. I've really enjoyed recording the episodes, and I hope you enjoy them too. So I'm really excited about that. The third thing I want to share with you is my street team. Now, you may know if you've read the first edition of Book Marketing Made Simple, or you may not know, or if you followed me for a while, you may know that I did an Amazon bestseller launch when I launched the first edition of Book Marketing Made Simple, and it got to Amazon #1, and I followed that process with many of my clients since then. There's a whole process I teach, and I've been using my own process, and I'll touch on this in a later video. So what I'm doing slightly differently this year is that I'm doing a street team. So what that involves is a group of people sharing it on the day of the launch. So if you want to shout out about my book, you're willing to send an email out to your mailing list if you have one, or you're willing to do some social media posts on the day, or you're willing to maybe interview me for a podcast, do let me know. There's a whole process that we're launching. Tracy will be sending out information next week. So if you think, yeah, I'd love to help you with the launch on the 28th of September, send me an email, karen@librotas.com, and I will send you, or we will send you all of the details next week. So basically my goal is to get the book out to as many people as possible on the day of the launch on the 28th of September, because I know that it's going to inspire more people to make a bigger difference in the world through getting their books out of their head and down onto paper. So that's the whole idea behind it. So karen@librotas.com if you are willing to shout out about my book when it launches, and there are some great bonuses for you, and you will get an advanced copy of this as well. An advanced digital copy of this will arrive in your inbox before anyone else sees it. So that's a really good incentive. And fourthly, the very final thing I want to share with you is something that I've been putting together over the last 4 or 5 weeks, and that is a 10-point book assessment. Now, I know that you might be thinking about writing a book and you're not quite sure where it's going. You're in the early stages and you've got a wealth of information, a wealth of ideas in your head, and you're thinking, I don't know what to do first, I don't know what to include, what to leave out, and then you get overwhelmed and you get that lack of clarity and that lack of focus. So I put together a 10-point assessment, and I'm running the first one with one of my clients later on today, and I'd like to offer it out to more people. So I do have a special offer for that. So if it's something that interests you, let me know, and I'll take you through a 10-point plan of what you need to have in place to write the perfect book for your business. I'm also going to be creating one of these just for marketing, because I know that there are similar things that I look for when it comes to creating a marketing plan. So if you find that you're later down the line and you've written your book and you're thinking, how do I market it? Get in touch, as I will be putting that together over the next couple of weeks as well. So lots of exciting stuff going on. Watch out for my email on Monday with the podcast link to the first episode, and please do listen, not watch. It will be available on all of the platforms. Like, review, share. Please help me to get this out to as many people as possible. There's so much great information that will be coming out over the next 12 episodes, and I look forward to sharing them with you. See you again next week.